Okay, here we are. It's, and by the way, great time this morning. We sleep in when we're on holiday, but still, we're up and at it and got here a little bit after 10 o'clock in the morning. This is Stone Mountain Park is the most visited attraction here in Georgia, and you can tell. So there was quite a line outside, but it's 400 plus acres.
It's huge.
And so there's a lot of place for people to stay apart from each other. But we're getting ready to take the Cherokee Loop Trail. It's about, don't tell Stephanie, it's about 6 miles of a loop.
I already knew that because I looked it up.
Okay. So to give you some perspective, when we did Abrams Falls in Smoky Mountains, that was about 4.5 miles. But that was uphill both ways. So we're looking.
This is too.
What?
There's a bunch of steps.
Okay. Regardless, we're looking forward to it, and we'll catch you guys as we go in the loop. I do that every time. I don't know why. Okay, so we're still on the trail. We're about 2 miles in.
Got 4 miles left.
So we're on the north side, and we're about ready to start actually going up the mountain, and gonna be some beautiful views.
Yeah, stop to take a little break.
Be careful, these pine needles might be slippery. So whenever we hike, one of the things that we do is, we bought a bunch of very inexpensive washcloths at Walmart. You can get them at the dollar store, whatever. And I do a couple things. I'll freeze the water bottles that we're taking.
Which has nothing to do with the washcloths, yeah.
No, but what I've found is that it's easier to take several water bottles than to depend upon just having one water flask or whatever
Right.
with you. But freeze them overnight,
Right.
and throughout the day they'll thaw. But then I'll also then take the washcloths, and either you can wrap them around the frozen bottles or wet them, put them in Ziploc bags and put them in the freezer, and then you have something nice and cool throughout the day that you can use. So just a little tip from us.
My hero. You know what? I don't say this very often, and I don't know if I've ever told you all, but I do realize what a position I'm in with Christopher as my tour guide. And I just would like to give a great big shout out to my husband Christopher, who takes the time that it requires that is required to go out and research all of these places, all of these adventures, and beyond that, he makes sure that we've got sustenance and cold water and cold rags. And for real, this guy's my hero.
Thank you.
That's
All right.
all.
Bye-bye.
Carry on.
Okay. What'd you say we're about?
I don't know.
150 up?
I'd say we got
50
another
feet in elevation?
50 in elevation, maybe another 100 to go linear.
Yeah, so you can kind of see. It's also getting a lot more crowded. Most people aren't wearing masks, so we're keeping a little bit of a distance.
Yeah.
And opting to take a little bit of a circuitous path for that reason. But the view is already, obviously spectacular from even from where we are.
Yeah.
So,
all right, here we go.
All right, here we go. We made it.
We did it.
Wow. Okay, we're at I think
1,653 bajillion feet.
Wow.
What'd you say, 1,600 feet?
Yeah, something like that. It's a lot.
That's a lot of feet for my 2 feet.
Congratulations.
Woohoo!
We made it. And despite what I said earlier, there is no slide on the way down, so.
Oh, there is. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah,
though.
it's quite bumpy.
Oh, look at these dudes doing their jumping jacks.
Yeah, we saw a lot of people like running up, running down. There's no reason for that.
There is.
No.
If that's what you want to do, more power to you. For us, no, we're good.
Yeah,
We're just happy to be here.
but what I would ask is, you know what? There's no reason for your boom box. You know,
You know what? To each
seriously,
his own. To each
you
his
know,
own.
I'm all about having your own, theme music, but I don't want to hear it. You know, just turn it off or invest in a pair of earbuds.
But
All right?
if you're with your honey and you both want to listen to the same jam, you've got my blessing.
All right. Okay, so this is probably taking it to the extreme. But another way that we travel safely during this whole pandemic is keeping ourselves separated.
As much as possible.
As much as
whenever
possible.
possible.
So we actually happen to be right now about 1,600 feet up in the air
Yeah.
on Stone Mountain. And while there are some people around us, we are relatively separated, and we found that we've been doing a lot more hiking during this time, which has been fantastic. We love it.
Love it.
But-
in fact, it has shaped how we want our future to look, to be
Yeah,
honest with
definitely.
you. So we've traveled and we want to continue to do that. But when it comes to where we want to eventually have a home base, we've decided that we want it to be within a half an hour of some really good hiking.
Yep.
So that's been monumental in our decision-making process.
And specific to how we travel now, we do try to find locations and activities that are less likely to be heavily populated, or if they are relatively heavily populated, like today was, there is the opportunity to give a lot of distance between people.
And there are alternative routes.
There
So
are.
we took the path less traveled.
Yes, we did, and we're feeling it. But we've in the past month and a half, we've been Smoky Mountains, we've Abrams Falls, we've been to Discovery Park and Snoqualmie Falls in Seattle, and now here in Georgia, and even in Chicago, the Chicago area.
Yeah.
At
Morton Arboretum.
Morton Arboretum.
Yep.
You're finding two things. One, you can be out in nature and have that distance. We make sure to wear our gaiters and our masks, and most people do. We haven't seen as much as we would like to here on the mountain.
No, not here.
But whether whatever activities you're choosing, always check online to see what types of either restrictions there are. So if there's activities that you're looking for in those areas, some of them may be canceled. But also see if there's any specific requirements that they have in terms
Right.
of protective gear. Same goes in restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing a lot of outdoor eating. But we've also been to some indoor restaurants that have literally taken out tables to provide significant distances. And in some cases, they're wearing not only masks, but they're actually wearing gloves while they're
Sure.
serving
Indoors and outdoors, both.
you. Yep.
Yep. And that's been reassuring. So lots of places that we've been have they've taken extra precautions
They have.
in the cleanliness and the disinfecting that they're doing. And then also you can tell that their staff is really well educated on how to keep themselves safe and how to keep us safe. And we do really appreciate that. And that's one of the things that the shout out to Chris about being such a good planner. Like, he knows ahead of time what those requirements are, and he also has some idea when we're going to a place whether or not they're taking extra precautions, and then he always makes mention of it online too, to give kudos where kudos are due.
And you want to talk about the QR codes they're using for menus?
Oh yeah, those are awesome. So you just take your camera, no special equipment, no special apps needed. You scan a picture of the QR code that's on the table, or they hand it to you or whatever, and then it's disposable or it's permanently affixed to the table, so you don't actually have to touch anything that's being passed from customer to customer, and it will automatically take you to the menu, which is a beautiful thing because you're only using your own device.
Yeah, so so we talked about restaurants, venues and events in general, places like this. These all kind of fall in the category of you can get out and still be socially distanced, be safe, and have a great time.
Absolutely. And the fresh air, I think, does everybody some good.
It does.
Little vitamin D in the sun, lots of fresh air. It's a great time out here in Georgia. Highly recommended.